Sit down, son. Let me give you a lesson. That was a dumb start to this video. Okay, I'm starting it over. I'm here to talk. I have solved. It always freaks me out to look at the camera. Off the point. I have solved the sort of class disparaging crisis that we've come to in this country. But I mean, I can't really think of the word right now. But when the problem when people complain about rich people, or oh, of course, this guy has a better education, his family's got money. I've solved that issue, like the class discrepancy or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. Whatever you want to call that issue, where like this family has more money than this family, so they have better opportunities. I've solved it. So this is what we're gonna do, and I think this will solve all the issues that we have facing us. Really, I think it'll solve racism. I don't think it'll solve feeding the poor. I didn't really factor that in, but I think it'll solve a lot of racial issues as well if we implement the system. So take notes. There's not going to be a quiz because I can't quiz you on it, but if you have questions, leave them below in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. If you want to hear more theories, hit me up. I mean, I've decided to drop everything else in my life and just become some sort of political figure. Maybe run for office one day. Okay, so this is how we're going to solve the class issue, classism, the rich. We're not going to eat the rich, as some people say, or I don't think billionaires are evil. I just think they got lucky. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm abolishing all universities. Past high school, there is no more education. It's a dumb system. It doesn't work. Everybody I know who went to college is an idiot. And everyone I know who didn't go to college is also an idiot. So we're just kind of dealing with idiots on both sides of the board. So let's not give one group of idiots an opportunity to make more money than the other group of idiots. So there's no more college. As for public schools, there's only public schools. We're not doing private universities or whatever. And you know what? There's no homeschooling. Because if you homeschool, your kids are weird. I'm sick of weirdos in society. So you're not homeschooling. We're not going to deal with your weirdo kids. Okay. If we find out that you're homeschooling your kids, we're going to break into your house. We're going to break your legs and we're taking your kids from you. So you now lose your kids and your legs are broken. So you're not going to be able to chase us down to get our kids. And the government's doing it. So it's going to be okay. Who are you going to sue? The government's the one that broke your legs and stole your kids because you asked for it. In a way, if the government's stealing all types of kids too, it'll kind of solve the issue of people complaining about kids being locked in cages because it'll seem more regular. Not saying that makes it better, but it does, it won't be a race thing at that point. It'll just be normal. So obviously the immigrant kids in the cages are completely different, but I'll solve that issue later. But that was just for clarification. I was just kind of making a point there. It's just a point. Don't use this against me when I run for office, okay? These are not thought out. I'm just kind of brainstorming my ideas here, okay? Anyways, no homeschool. I don't like it. They turn out weird. I think most people would agree that homeschool kids are menaces to society, for lack of a better word. I'm sorry if you were homeschooled. You probably have, throughout the years, you've probably adjusted to become fairly normal, but it took you a while, and I'd like to skip that step and just never have it. You just go right into public school. Also, if homeschooling's allowed, it's just going to become a private organization again. In terms of rich people are going to get together and hire the best teachers to teach at their home. So to avoid that, it can't be. Everyone has to have the same education. I think that would allow for better. The teachers could probably get paid more. So maybe they'll get better teachers. I know what you're thinking now. If there's no colleges, how are we going to educate the teachers? Or anything, doctors, lawyers, how are we going to get these careers that require a higher education? I put a lot of thought into this, okay? So my solution is more of a mentorship program, similar to how a blacksmith back in the day would take on an apprentice and they would just tutor under them until they were ready to I'll just open my own shop now. I've been tutoring under you for 10 years. So it'll be like that. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, let's say I'm a rich dude and you want to tutor under me. Couldn't I just charge to tutor under me? No, there's no charging. So it's going to remove the incentive. And for the people out there who are going to be like, okay, listen, if you're like a racist doctor, you're only going to want to teach white kids. This is the solution to that, okay? To be one of these, it's going to be like certain, I almost said schools. These mentorship programs, these mentorships, they only happen in certain places. And you have to like volunteer to be a mentor, okay? We'll have a board, so we're not getting like all the dumb people mentoring. We're going to have like a board of a bunch of blind people, so that these blind people cannot see color, but even for an extra step. So let's say I'm applying to be a mentor. I would actually go and find someone to proxy me in that meeting, and we're gonna have certain people who are these proxies, and they're just gonna be the most bland people you can imagine. Nothing discernible about you. They're the type of people that you meet and you completely forget that you met them. Like they're nothing people. They'll all be bald. They'll be racially ambiguous. Like you won't even know what they are. You'll be like, is he white? Is he Chinese? He could be some sort of other race. Like they're totally racially ambiguous. We'll have no idea what they are. Okay. So they'll actually proxy the interview for you. So you're gonna give them your resume, and they're not even gonna get a name, because I know if you have a name, like obviously if your name's like Shaquisha, like no one's gonna think you're a white person if your name's Shaquisha. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of white women named Shaquisha, but I think that name tends to fall under a certain demographic. So to avoid that, you're just gonna get a number, like number 2, and you're gonna get this racially ambiguous, forgettable fellow to read your resume for you, all of your requirements, and then they choose you from that. And then once you're in that way, you're in, and they can't kick you out. They already accepted you, so that removes that. So that's how we would do it for any sort of job. Now, I know what a lot of people are saying, because I ran this idea by a couple people, and they were saying like, well, one of the biggest problems with like doctors is that people don't get into it because of their love of the craft of doctoring, but because of the money. And it's a really good point. We don't want doctors who are doing it for the money. We want doctors to do it because they want to heal people or be a doctor or whatever. Doctors make you wait in a waiting room for 10 hours, whatever you want to do as a doctor. That's what you want to do. So each of the mentorship programs, so not the board to get into the mentorship, the actual mentorship program, they will either be held at the top of a mountain or in a dark cave. And before the class starts, you have to sit on your knees, either at the base of the mountain or at the entrance of the cave. And you do that for about 2 weeks. So 14 days of just sitting there waiting for it to begin. Because I feel like that's a waiting period long enough that nobody who's there is for the money is going to stick that time period out. Because you can't, no phones. I'll allow you'll get like an hour of talk time a day. So you can like talk to the guy kneeling next to you. You guys can converse. I mean, we can't really force you to not converse. So I'm sure you'll get more talk time. But yeah, you're just going to sit there on your knees for 2 weeks, and you're going to eat very little. Like the mentors will feed you something, but it'll probably be like maggoty bread. It'll be something that you don't want to eat. So that way, if you are in it for the money, you'll probably, I think that's the best way to weed you out. I mean, I guess we could ask you like, hey, are you in this for the money? And if you say you are, I don't know, we burn your eyes out or something to make you rethink your life. I haven't really thought that part through, but again, I'm brainstorming here. Okay. So then, the last thing, this wage gap, if that's the word I'm going with. Everyone said like, well, what do we do with all the people who already have money? Because like, that's obviously going to be a huge issue, because it doesn't really solve. It just kind of solves the issue for the next generation. So I'm a little torn on this one. Like they did earn their money, whether it's through cheating and murder, robbery, stealing. I mean, they earned it. So I feel like we should give them a chance to defend it. I don't know if that means like we put all their money in like a bank vault, and we give everybody the population, and then we give them 45 minutes to like mount a defense. I feel like that would be pretty fair. I've also thought about maybe just redistributing their wealth equally to everybody, but we're kind of getting into communism there, and I do like the free market, so I'd like that to continue. Let's not do anything like drastically socialist or communist. I guess it's probably pretty communist to break somebody's legs because they're homeschooling their kids, but drastic times call for drastic measures, or desperate times call for desperate measures. We're just trying to avoid weird people. So probably something like that. Yeah, like 45 minutes to protect their money. Or we put them in like those tubes at Chuck E. Cheese's where like they just blow money around. You got to catch it all, and you're like, oh, I got like $100. I actually like that idea better. So we put them in this tube with all of their wealth, and they can keep as much of it as they can catch on their time. And that's actually what we're going to do. I've solved it. So they're going to be going there first because they earn the money. So they get the chance to earn the most, okay? And then we're going to look at the like demographic of people who they've... Okay, sorry. So they're going to go in this tube, and they're going to catch as much money as they can in 45 seconds, okay? And then we're going to look at the demographic of people who they have like cheated out of their enormous wealth. So like, let's say it's like Amazon's probably cheated all of us out of our wealth. So like for that one, every household would be able to send one person to go into this money tube and collect as much money as they can. But if it's something like these people are profiting off like a poor African-American neighborhood, we would give the African-Americans the priority in getting in the money tube. So they would get maybe 2 people per household, and we'd go through all of their households first, and then we'd start working our way back in the demographics. So like if that landlord, I'm just going to say he's a landlord, let's say he had like one white family in there, the white family would be the last to go in the tube to collect his money. I think that's the most fair way to do it. If you guys have any issues or like constructive criticism about this, I'm not really looking for hate. If you're just going to come at me and say like, this idea is dumb, I think the truth is you're probably dumb and you don't really understand complex thought, but I can't diagnose you with being stupid through I've never met you, but like, you're probably stupid if you don't agree with this. But yeah, leave any like supportive comments, like, I don't know, maybe write your congressman about it. I mean, just send him the link to the video. Yeah, I'll make some more of these for sure. I have a lot of like political ideas. Our justice system, I'll probably tackle next. So yeah, if you have any good ideas, you just leave them below, whatever you want me to talk about. Eventually I'll run for office, vote for me there. We have probably like 14 years before I can, but like in 14 years, I'll probably be credible. I mean, I'll have made a lot of changes through this channel, this politically based. You're now changing. Previously, this channel was like movie reviews and like kind of nonsense. It's now completely political. So that's what we're doing now. Catch you next time, guys. Like, comment, subscribe.